with you.
and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus departed to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When day came, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he also named apostles: Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew; James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Simon who was called a zealot, and Judas the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. And he came down with them and stood on a stretch of level ground. A great crowd of his disciples and a large number of the people from all Judea and Jerusalem and the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon came to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And even those who were tormented by unclean spirits were cured. Everyone in the crowd sought to touch him, because power came forth from him and healed them all. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear brothers and sisters, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
The power and the necessity of prayer. This is what is being asked of us today to reflect on. Our theme, actually, of the reading from Luke chapter 6, verses 12 to 19, ang panalangin. Ano ba nagagawa nito? And Jesus, as we know, always spent time in prayer. And this time in the gospel that we heard, he was there all night long on the mountain. He left his disciples to be able to pray, because prayer cannot really be meaningful if we do it. I suppose it's also good to have others, but in a general way, prayer is an individual relationship with God, where we not only talk, but we basically listen to God. Ito pong gospel naman natin, he spent the night in prayer to God. And practically, when we look at the Gospels, the hour or the time of prayer for the Lord is always nighttime. Symbolically, night is darkness. And it is in darkness where we need more strength, more power. And Jesus communes with his Father at night. But of course we know that this communion is not limited to nighttime, but it's all throughout the day. And the context of the prayer, or the moment of prayer for the Lord, was the preparation for his great decision. Yung kanyang pagpili ng kanyang mga alagad, bago niya gawin, naglasal muna whole night long. That's the practice of vigil for us. That is why we have in the church, in the congregation where I came from, Blessed Sacrament Congregation, we have an nocturnal adoration. Ito po yung buong gabi in vigil to pray before the Blessed Sacrament. And this the Lord did. That is why during daytime, he already was prepared to make a decision. And his decision was to choose 12 men to be his companions, to be his collaborators in bringing about the kingdom. He calls them first disciples, but eventually apostles. A disciple is one who follows the master and learns from the master. An apostle is one who is sent by the master. So ito na sila. And we look at them, although It was the Lord who made the decision, but then He chose people who are as human as we are. They had their own strength, they also had their own weaknesses. And we look at them, we see ourselves among them. Peter, the leader of the group, he had his own share of weaknesses. And of course, the last to be mentioned, Judas Iscariot, who was a traitor, who betrayed the Lord. So we look at this and ask ourselves, Lord, in my decisions in life, did I really pray? That is why when a person gets to make decisions that are so important, so crucial in life, it is good to pray. In the life of a priest before we get ordained, we generally or normally spend at least a month in recollection, or 1 month, 1 day a month, and then a longer period spent in retreat. The longest ones happens before ordination, either to the diaconate or to the priesthood. The Jesuits have a long-standing tradition that St. Ignatius of Loyola bequeathed on them, a 30-day retreat. But this could be divided into 8 days or several days, no matter what. The length of time is not really the crux of the matter, but it is the content and the intent to be able to pray, prepare for decisions in life. So I pray that we will be able to understand the power and the necessity of prayer. The Lord, the Son of God, the Messiah, needed it. How much more are we in need of prayer? Jesus, the divine healer,
have mercy on us.
and now let us present